Many people find communication in the workplace difficult. It can be challenging to bring ideas to your coworkers or supervisors, or to strike the right balance between being kind and not getting walked over by customers or colleagues. I'm David from the Five Forks branch, and I'm here to help. In this video, we will be discussing three main areas of communication in the workplace. We will talk about speaking with supervisors, speaking with coworkers, and speaking with customers and clients. By the end of this video, you should be able to be a leader in helpful, meaningful communication at your job. You will learn how to set the tone and lay the foundation for great workplace relations wherever you happen to work. We'll begin with speaking to supervisors. You always want to have open, honest communication with your supervisors, and this is especially important when you are receiving feedback from them. Keep this in mind. Never complain, never explain. If your boss gives you a correction or suggests a way something could be improved, simply receive the information in a humble way. Put the new plan into action and get to work. This will be more impressive to your supervisor than any explanation ever could be. You can even get ahead of the curve by inviting your supervisor or manager to point out things that could be improved in your work. Take time to regularly reflect on ways that you can increase your productivity and let your manager know what's on your mind. You could find an area of growth for yourself. Seek out your supervisor and say something like, "Hey, I noticed this hasn't been going quite as well as I would like it to. Here's my plan to fix it." When you are communicating achievements, there is nothing wrong with putting your best foot forward. There is a balance to be struck here. You want to remain humble, but you also don't want to downplay your contributions. The key to doing this is to really believe in the work you have done. If you know that you have done your very best in a particular area, it's okay and even advisable to let your boss know. For smaller things, keep the conversation natural. You know that inventory check you mentioned last week? Well, I found some time and I took care of that for you. If you're thinking about something larger, like requesting a promotion or a raise, you might find it beneficial to rehearse what you were going to say before the meeting. Walk yourself through the whole conversation a few times, thinking about what your boss might say in a few different ways. Next, we will speak about speaking with coworkers. If you are just starting out in a new job, you may want to set firm boundaries, either formally or informally. Revealing too much personal information can seem overbearing and could potentially make your history more important to your coworkers than the kind of work you're doing. As you get to know your coworkers better, you may find that you want to open up to some, but not to others. That's okay. You don't need to be best friends with everyone at your workplace, but it does help everyone at the office or store if you are at least kind to everyone. When you are working on a team with others from your job, keep in mind that everybody has different strengths and weaknesses. Depending on the nature of the team, it could be beneficial to have a conversation about those strengths and weaknesses so that everybody has a clear understanding of their role. Always hear what your teammates are saying. Listen deeply and try to understand where they're coming from. Never shoot down a good idea because you wanted to be the star of the show. When you disagree with someone, tell them at least one good thing about their idea, and then explain that you thought of a different way. When someone pushes back against your idea, be objective. Is the idea that they are pushing better than yours? Make decisions that are going to support the common goal of improving the way your job works and the services it supplies. When speaking with and interacting with customers, there are some basics that will apply to every customer service experience you offer. First, you want to be responsive to the customer. That means noticing their body language, their tone of voice, and the words they are saying. Each customer service experience is different from every other one, so be ready to cater to the needs of the person you are interacting with in each particular setting. You will also need to be patient. Depending on your line of work, customers may not even have a clear understanding of what they want or need. Work with them patiently and try to get them exactly what they were looking for. Give them an experience that they will then go tell a friend about. One final basic point to note here is to be solution-oriented. This means that all of your time and effort with customers should be aiming toward having them leave the interaction feeling like their needs were met. Sometimes customers will meander through various topics or perhaps become critical of those at your work or your workplace itself. If this is the case, find ways to politely redirect the conversation to your common goal. Meet or exceed your customers' needs. Speaking of those times when customers are critical of you or your workplace, you may have the distinguished honor to hear the opinions of an irate customer. If you come across a customer who is livid and has nothing but negative comments to make, and has lots of them, the most important thing to do is listen. Listen carefully to hear whether any of the things that the customer is complaining about can be fixed quickly. Listen to see if there is something you can relay to your manager to improve things so the same situation does not happen again. The next most important thing for you to do is listen. Just hear them out. Most of the time, irate customers just want to be heard. Do not interrupt them and definitely don't rise to their level of irritation. Let them get it all out and then, in the end, look for a solution. There always is one. Remain as calm as possible, and no matter how difficult it is, keep a calm, steady voice. The next step that I will recommend is slightly controversial. Apologize. Some organizations don't want their employees to apologize because it admits fault on the organization's part. If that is the case for your workplace, follow the best practices of your organization or company. But as far as I'm concerned, genuinely acknowledging that you wish things could have gone better is always a good thing, as long as you make one or more attempt to make it right. Keep in mind that sometimes the solution is to enforce your organization's code of conduct or other ethical guidelines. Now that we have covered the topics that I discussed at the beginning of this video, you can see that the way we communicate in the workplace is very important and also very nuanced. I'm sure that if you make an effort to practice good communication every day at your job, you will continue to sharpen your skills and will have no problem setting the tone with your supervisors, coworkers, and customers. That's all for this video. I'm David Buterbaugh from the Five Forks branch. Until we meet again, best of luck on your productivity journey.